Hi, and welcome to our webcast discussion of March 17, 2017. My name is Christian Lebré, and this is Amy Asbrook, the director of Toujours Vivant, Not Dead Yet.
Hello.
Toujours Vivant, Not Dead Yet is an organization by and for people with disabilities and our allies. Our goal is to inform, unify, and give voice to the disability rights opposition to assisted suicide, euthanasia, and other ending of life practices that discriminate against people with disabilities. Today's topic: 461 people were euthanized in Quebec in 2016. That's very, very bad.
Quite a lot of people.
Too much.
Okay. Between December 2015 and December 2016, 461 people were euthanized in Quebec. That's a lot. The total number of requests during that period was 721. And one of the things we're going to be talking about today is how during the second half of the year, the number of requests and euthanasias increased. During the second half of the year, the number of requests and euthanasias performed increased dramatically. See, I told you.
Yeah. We told you.
Right. The number of requests went up by 85% to 468, and the number of people who were euthanized rose from 166 in the first half of the year to 295 in the second half. So that's almost double the number in the second half.
When I heard those numbers, there is two things coming in my mind. How the commission will succeed to catch back the
to keep up with the number of
yes, because
cases.
they had 200 something death, and they succeed to get 180 something.
Yeah, they had 262 euthanasia in the first 9 months,
and they missed.
And they only were able to evaluate 148 cases.
Okay, so the number double. How they will catch up for watching what's happening with this program?
Right. The number doubled, almost doubled from 262 in the first 9 months to 461. Like, this is not quite double, but it's another 200 cases in the last 3 months.
So how they will catch up their backfire?
Right.
And the second thing is, it is at the beginning, I remember quite well, it was supposed to be an exceptional measure, very few often used.
Very rare. Yeah.
Very rare. And 461, that for me doesn't sound as a very rare.
Right. Especially for the first year.
Yeah, this is more death than you have a winner in the Lotto Québec.
Right. Right. Many institutions reported an increase of 200% or more in the number of requests for euthanasia during the second half of the year.
I wish to have buy some
lottery tickets,
or action, shares in company, and give me 200% in 6 months.
Yeah.
Increase. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. And this is a major departure from the expectation that euthanasia would be, as Christian said, an exceptional measure for exceptional cases, which was expressed by supporters when the law was passed.
And it's why we had this group of MPs saying we are all together doing a new kind of politics, and we are unanimous. This is a good project.
They used it to sell the idea because it was exceptional for exceptional cases. They sold the law that way. We said it's not going to be that way.
No. Yes.
It's going to be a lot of people, because people with disabilities are devalued, and it's true. There was the case of Archie Rowland last summer, who couldn't get proper care in an institution. He couldn't get home care, and he requested and received assisted suicide, though he wasn't really at the end of life. But he received assisted suicide because he requested it.
Yeah.
And he was disabled and they wouldn't give him proper care in an institution. So,
And we tell it 3 years ago because we copy the Quebec law over the Belgium one,
right,
and we had said that time we will have the same result because this is the same law with the same kind of society.
right,
And it happened.
right, exactly. And if you remember last time, we talked about the difference between Oregon and Belgium, that there were a lot more euthanasia in Belgium. And we talked about one of the factors in that was the idea that in Belgium, it's keyed to suffering. And that's the case in Canada and in Quebec.
Yeah.
So it's tied to suffering.
In Oregon, it's tied with
Just the terminal illness.
yes.
You have to have 6 months or less.
And you have to take it yourself. It's a suicide. It's not somebody who euthanize you.
Right, exactly.
The responsibility is not at the same place.
Right. One of the most troubling statistics to come out of the Radio Canada report published on Wednesday was the range of acceptance of requests for euthanasia across the province. The Center for Integrated Health and Social Services in Estrie accepted 84% of requests. So more than 80%, more than 4 out of 5 were accepted.
But when I heard that, what I think about is there is a doctor somewhere
Right.
in this area.
Right. While on the West Island University Integrated Health and Social Service Center, they granted only 28.6% of requests.
Feels for me more natural.
That's a huge difference. And
Yeah.
this is the same law, the same regulations, the same terms.
Hospital, same equipment,
Right.
same everything.
It's-
We live
It's
in
not
the
the same
society.
hospital, but it's similar hospitals.
there is
We're
a-
not, these aren't going to be terribly different patients. These are the same kinds of patients.
Yeah.
What can
I have
account
lived
for this
in
difference?
Sherbrooke for 1 year, a bit more than 1 year, 2 years, let's say. And this is a very nice society, really, really close where I live now, which is west of Montreal. And I feel something about Quebec City too. Those are places very highly interesting as a society, very close. Why there is so much difference?
Right, right. There's not that big a difference between one part of Quebec and another. And yet, why would 84% be accepted in one place and only 28 or 29% in another place?
Yeah, if they had told me something like Nunavut and Montreal downtown, it could have been some, some.
You could understand
yeah,
a little bit.
but not from Sherbrooke and Montreal or
Right.
Sherbrooke with Quebec.
Right.
There is no sense at all.
Right, and actually Quebec had a 79% acceptance rate, so that was also very high. The difference between Quebec and Montreal as two cities was
Yeah,
still
the
pretty great.
difference is Dr. No is coming from Quebec
Right.
and Dr. No is a deaf doctor.
Dr. Node, yeah.
Yeah.
Research will have to be done to determine why the acceptance rates vary so widely from one institution to another, but whether the research will be done remains to be seen. So given all the priorities, who knows whether they're going to do that research? But it needs to be done because we need to find out what's going on. Why are some places euthanizing people a lot more than others?
Yeah, but the
People are
trouble
going to
is,
start doctor shopping and saying, oh, I really want to die. I should go to this other place.
yeah, go to see Dr. No, you will be killed.
Right. Or somebody's family will say,
Yeah.
we should take him to this doctor because he'll
Yeah,
do the deed.
he'll do the deal. Okay. The trouble. Sorry, I lost my mind, but
Sorry.
continue.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Whether the research would be done, was that?
Oh yeah, it's kind of impossible. There will be no research unless a university will do it, because in the law and in the budget and the creation that the government will have done with this law, nothing exists.
Right.
So there is no institution, group, committee, or whatever who is formed to do that.
Right. And the other thing, of course, we already know is there have been 3 cases. There were 21 cases where there were irregularities of the 148 that the Commission on End-of-Life Care looked at.
Yeah.
And 3 of those cases were because the people were not eligible. And there's been no action on those cases.
So it's supposed to be murder. So police should take action, because when there is murder, there is some kind of inquiry.
Yeah.
And afterward, accusation, and somebody should be tried.
Right, yeah.
But nothing happened. There was just a declaration, 2 people was murdered.
Right.
3 people was murdered.
Right.
That's it.
The fact that they weren't eligible doesn't seem to make any difference to people.
And I have to remember, the law is still the law, and we just create an exception for doctors if they follow the rules. If they don't follow the rules, they are murdered.
Right, exactly. Not surprisingly, Dr. Alain Naud, a supporter of euthanasia, believes that the increase in demand means the program is meeting a need. However, Melanie Vachon of the Center for Research and Intervention on Suicide and Euthanasia at the University of Québec at Montréal believes the increase to be a failure of the initial intentions of the law.
I have tendency to give my vote to Ms. Vachon. Ms. Vachon have the right thinking. We failed to our target, so the things going wrong.
Right, exactly. She's saying it was supposed to be for exceptional cases. It's not. Something's gone wrong. We need to look at it. But Dr. Naud, who is a supporter of euthanasia, who backed the law initially, who's been doing a lot of euthanasia, who's a big booster of this, is saying, oh, it's just meeting a need.
The difference is the government looked at somebody who said that existing a need for a very small minority of people.
Right.
And there was a target put together, and we target that thing.
Right.
We missed the target.
Right.
Okay? What is the trouble?
Right.
There is a trouble.
And in the law, there were supposed to be improvements in palliative care. But whatever improvements were made, it isn't enough, because people aren't getting palliative care.
When the life of people are in the line, what we need is 100% palliative care,
right,
possible for everybody.
Right.
Which we are far to be. We're still under 40%.
Right. Right. And the other thing, I put up 3 articles today on our Facebook page. They're in French, but they're about the fact that people in institutions, their rights are not being respected. And also the people who are getting home care, even if they are signed up for home care, oftentimes the people don't come and provide the services, and so they're stuck.
So we doesn't have enough palliative care, we doesn't have enough home care in hospitalization and some CSS, nursing home, okay? We doesn't have enough people knowing how to fight pain, okay?
Right.
Doctors are not properly trained against it, and for even some doctors, the only medication existing against pain is morphine.
Right.
That's not true. There's many medication possible.
Right. Depending on the kind of pain you have, there are different kinds of medications. So many reasons have been suggested for these high numbers, but both Melanie Vachon and Dr. Alain Naud were both quoted as saying that the lack of access to effective palliative care may be playing a role. Well, duh.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that both sides agree that this is a problem, but nobody seems to care. People prefer that folks die rather than to fix the problem. And that's really a problem with our society.
Yeah.
That our society prefers that disabled and ill and old people die rather than fixing the problem with palliative care. That's really a condemnation of our society. So that's the end of our topic.
Yeah, but we could talk about it for hours.
Right.
The only thing that we could think about now is the number is very high, and it's increasing, and it's increasing in exponential rate. Something has to be done because the government missed the target with the law.
Right. And not only are they not providing adequate palliative care, they're not providing adequate home care, and the conditions in nursing homes for people who are there are institutional problems. One of the articles I put up on our Facebook page talked about the opposition parties in the Quebec Parliament introduced a measure that would have enlarged the definition of the word abuse to include systemic abuse, such as policies that are inhumane to people. And that would have been things like, limiting the number of adult diapers that somebody can use, or not changing them in adequate time, or not allowing people to have more than one
diapers was like
shower per week.
Contravention for policemen,
Right.
ticket for policemen. It
Right.
doesn't have a quota.
Right.
They have target.
Right, exactly.
Unbelievable.
If you look at the thesaurus, target and quota are fairly similar. But anyway, but the Liberal government blocked that idea. So the abuse by policies is going to remain abuse without being considered abuse. So not only is there a lack of palliative care, there's a lack of adequate home care for people with disabilities, and people don't necessarily have control over their own home care. They don't have the money to hire their own helpers at home. And that is another way that people don't have control.
Home care is one thing, and nursing home is another thing.
Right.
And nursing home are not for everybody, like army is not for everybody. Some are happy and some are not. So home care should be take place, have enough money, which is not the case at all now.
Right, exactly.
So,
okay, so for more information on the subjects that we discuss here, you can go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/toujours vivant not dead yet. You can go to our website at tvndy.ca. You can email us at info@tv-ndy.ca, or you can follow us on Twitter @TVNDY. Thanks to Christian for helping out.
thank you, Amy.
Thanks to you all for being there, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.